Hammerlock is basically any lock where the arm goes behind the back, like this. Some people call this a chicken wing lock. Whatever, you can call it any. Point is, I'm talking about locks where the arm is in this configuration. Now, one variation of this is what I call a bent wrist hammerlock, where you control the elbow with one hand and you apply a gooseneck on the wrist with the other. And so you basically just have a tight two-handed grip, and you would typically use this to walk a person where you want them to go. Or if they're out of control, you can spin them down to the ground with it, driving this shoulder down to the ground or taking them around in a circle until they hit the ground. Now that lock can also be applied one-handed like this, where you reach through and you secure the wrist with one hand, but this is not a secure lock. He can pull out of this fairly easily, right? So this is not my favorite. With the other hand, in order to keep him from getting away, what you might do with the other hand, some people will come around and lift the chin with the hand. I don't like this because he can reach up and grab my fingers. Yeah. I prefer to grab the fabric of the shirt and roll my fist up into the chin. That way there's not much for him to grab, and then what I do is I unbalance him backward. And he's too busy stumbling along to think about trying to get out of the lock. The disadvantage is that I'm moving backward, so I have to keep looking over my shoulder to see what's behind me. Another variation of the hammerlock would be what I call an elbow hammerlock, where I slip this arm up through here, and I am lifting his arm up with my elbow. See that? So as I lift my elbow, it tightens the lock. Now, to get out of this, he would spin away from it, yeah, that way, and he'd get out of the lock. In order to keep him from doing that, I might come around to the front of the shoulder and either just grab this shoulder or maybe take the tips of my fingers and hook them into the gap between the deltoid and the pec. Right there, there's some nerves in there. It's slightly painful. So it holds him in place, it gives him something else to think about, and then again, I have a fairly tight lock in back here. Some people come around and control this shoulder or pull on the chin. I think that's not a good idea because that encourages him to spin in the direction that he needs to in order to get out of the lock. Right. So that's the elbow hammerlock. Elbow hammerlock is a really easy lock to get into. I've made another video especially on that lock. Like say if he's pushing, for example, just here and you're in the lock. It's really quick. In Silat and Kali and the knife arts, you would get the person into that lock, draw your own blade, and you finish them off. So another variation of the hammerlock is what I call a two-finger hammerlock. And that one looks like this. It's a one-handed lock, similar to the gooseneck hammerlock I was showing you. But with this one, because you're locking the fingers and pulling them up and back toward you, it's really nasty. It's very painful for the other person, and it's hard for them to get out of because as soon as they start squirming around, they risk breaking their own fingers. And again, you could come in and you could control the shoulder, or you could just control that shoulder, take them where you need to go. Now to get into that lock, let's say he goes for a push, I would just trap the hand right there. And then as I lift the elbow here, I isolate two fingers and they swim through here. See that? So I go from here to here, here to here. It takes practice. Some people, as they make that turn, they bend the wrist the wrong way, and then you lose it. It's important to just turn that over. You see, all you really have to do is turn that over. The elbow automatically comes up and creates the window for those fingers to go in and lock it up. So these are variations of the hammerlock. Can you think of any others?
No, that's pretty much all I understand.
Oh, there's a lock called a harness lock that you can do on somebody who's very flexible. Like some young people, teenagers, especially younger women, will be extremely flexible, and some of these locks they may be able to get out of. I don't know if I'll be able to put this lock on Lalo because you have to be super flexible for this lock. But basically what it is, it's an elbow hammer lock, and then I'm going to reach up here all the way around and grab my own hand. So I've got this on, I reach all the way up, my fingers come together. I was almost there.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
there. And you grab your own hand. It's a very, very tight lock. So if somebody's really flexible, you can put that on. All right, thanks very much. Thank you to Lalo and to his daughter who's filming this for us. Please subscribe and you can watch that video or that one. Thank you.